Hello, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'll be walking real estate business owners through how an AI chatbot can enhance property buying experience of your potential buyers, making everything seamless and engaging. So, this video is going to be split into two parts. The first part is going to be about the demo, and the second one is where I get into explaining everything technically how I built things. So, before I get into the demo, let me just explain quickly what this is all about. So this is an AI smart chatbot, which is specifically designed to enhance the property browsing experience of your buyers. So let me quickly go through the features and then I'll get into the demo. So the first one is, so it lives in every listing page. So it specifically lives in every property listing page, and it knows everything about the specific property, starting from pricing, features, availability, location, everything related to the listing. And then it provides quick and accurate information. And as we all know, how cumbersome it is to find relevant information in a listing page. It has a lot of information, and um, it's really hard for someone to find relevant information. So to solve that issue, uh, this chatbot can specifically answer users' queries and provide solutions with quickly and accurately. And then after that, it also calculates the monthly payments. So it helps calculating the monthly payments for any property, which eliminates the need for a calculator. And most importantly, we have added this lead management feature where it captures leads, scores the leads, as well as syncs them directly into a CRM, ensuring that no potential buyer slips through the cracks. So these are all the features of the chatbot that makes it unique, and it's what it is. So now let me just quickly get into the demo. I'll come to this part. I'll cover this part in the technical section. So let me first show you the demo. So here we are, and this is a small site that I built uh, to basically mimic a real estate website. So you can see there's available listings here. I can see all the listings here. Sample. I just added 3 listings, and then I can actually get inside each one and then see explore all the details. Like for example, in this case, let me go back to this one and show you this. Let's select this purple villa. It has all the details here related to this listing: appliances, basement, and all the interior, external details, location, financing options, and additional details. And it also has details about nearby schools. So this is just me trying to mimic how a real estate website could look like with the listing and showing all the relevant details here. And talking about our AI chatbot, this is what I was talking about. It sits at only in the listings page. Even if I go to the home page, it's not here. It's only available in the listings page. And talking about the first feature, it knows everything about this specific listing. So if I just quickly refresh this and then I open this up, so you can see, ask me anything about the purple villa. So it knows everything about the listing, meaning all information. So you can basically ask anything and then it can give you accurate and quick results. For example, let me just ask, what's the price? And then it's going to go and check the details of this listing, and then it's going to get me the price. So it says $1 million, which is correct here. And I can also go and ask for any other details. I think it makes more sense if I could actually take you through the potential buyer's journey, right? So the steps could look something like this. So the first step would be they might ask questions about the listing and see if all the details matches their requirements. And once that's done, they might end up calculating the monthly payments for this property. And then once that's done, they're satisfied with both the steps. They can then go ahead and schedule for viewing, right? So this is how it could the steps could look like, and it's trying uh, to see how our bot handles these steps. So the first thing is asking about the listing. Let's say I have a specific requirement here. Let's say I want to have um, two baths and a fireplace and garage space to park at least two cars. Right. So these are my requirements. So let me just send this. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, just two bathrooms, garage space for one car. Oh, it does not have a fireplace. Okay, so let me just quickly verify these details. It says it has two bathrooms, main level bathrooms, two. Yes, okay, and has garage space for one car. External garage, yes. Garage space is one. Okay, this is correct as well, and does not include a fireplace. Fireplace. No. Okay. Yeah, this is correct. So the details returned by our bot is accurate. So let's say these were my requirements and I'm happy with it. Now I'm going to calculate the monthly payments, right? Now I'm just going to say calculate monthly payments. I'm purposely making these typos here to check how my bot reacts to it. Looks like it understands it. Okay. So it says desired down payment percentage. This property is about $1 million. Let's say I'm happy to pay 20% of it. It's 200K. And then desired loan term. I'm happy with probably 20 years. Okay. It's come up with these values here. So desired down payment percentage is 20%. Desired loan term is 20 years. Property listing is 1 million. Loan amount is 800K. And desired interest rate is 3%. So it's by default, I think, considers 3%, but we can also tweak the value here. Interest rate is 5%. So for 3%, it's come up with $4,436 per month EMI. Let's see what's the value for 5%. So if I consider the same values for 5%, it would be around this value. So 5.2K each month. Okay. So I've calculated the monthly payments, and once this is done, let's say I want to proceed further. I want to schedule a viewing. It's asking me for these details: name, email, budget, and additional comments. Name, email, budget. Let's say I want to bring this down to 800K probably. I don't want to pay 1 million for this. And additional comments is let's say I want to move next month. Right? Let's enter. Okay, thank you for providing this information. Please confirm if everything is correct. Yes. Okay, let's see what it does. Right. Details has been saved. Right. Let me just check my CRM. Yep, it showed up here. So name, email, budget, notes that are added here. Temperature is hot. So it also already did the scoring process as well. So it actually goes through the conversation history and then sees uh, how how interested the buyer is regarding the property. So since we asked relevant information about the property, we asked relevant questions, and we also asked it to calculate monthly payments, and then our budget is also very close to the actual listing property. So it categorized us as hot, and then it also has this listing ID, so that the sales team can know which listing was this conversation about, and then from here they can just take it forward, right? Yeah. So this was a quick demo of how this bot can handle, you know, it can enhance the property buying experience. It can help in making good decisions. It can answer all questions regarding a listing, and of course the possibilities are just endless. These were the basic features that I added in these, covering the most basic steps of the flow. So yeah, this was about the demo. And if you're a business owner, real estate business owner, and want to have this on your website, then you can probably contact me on this and the link. I've pasted the link in the description, so you can contact me, and then probably we can have a discussion further on how we can collaborate together. Right. Now, as you've seen the demo, let me actually take you through the technical steps that were involved in building this bot. So let me just take you first to the whimsical. Let me present this. Yeah. So let me just quickly show you how this works. This is a quick overview, and then after this, I'll take you through the Flowise agent flow, which I used to build the actual bot. And then once that's done, probably I'll give you some more context and some more details on how you can completely build this bot on from your side, and also can download the resources which I've linked down in the description section, right? So the first part is, this is a quick overview of how everything works, right? So we have three parts here. The first one is the source, a table in our case. So this could be anything. This could be in a typical, real world example. This will be an API, or it comes from a database, or it could come from a CRM, right? The property details will be stored here, and then our web app is connected to this database or this source where the property details are stored. It's pulling everything and then listing it, showing it everything here in the web app. And then our AI bot is also connected to the same source, making sure that the details are the same and we don't end up hitting different sources and gathering irrelevant information, right? So both our web app and our AI bot is connected to the same source. In our case, it's Airtable. So once you understand this, we can actually go ahead to our Flowise dashboard. So this is how the flow looks like. Let me just zoom out and show you what's involved here. So this is a multi-agent setup flow where we have three different agents handling three different kinds of tasks. So everything starts from here. It starts from the start node, and then for chat model, I'm using OpenAI's GPT-4o mini model, and with temperature set to zero point 0.7, so that we keep some creativity to it. And then coming to agent memory, I'm using MySQL as usual, as everything runs on my local, so it's connected to my local instance. And then coming to state, I actually have a state here, listing info, where I actually store the listing details of that specific property, right? I'll show you where it's used exactly, and I'll show you how useful that is, right? And then comes our first agent, which is our condition agent. Right? Based on the query that user asks, this agent is responsible to route user's query to the right agent, right? So going forward, we have three different agents here. Let me just zoom out a bit. Here, the first, second, and third. The first agent is called listing details. Listing details agent. So this is responsible for handling queries regarding the listing. So whenever user asks any question about the listing, it takes that input and then goes ahead to the source. I mean the Airtable in our case. It goes to the source, gets the details, and then once it retrieves the details, it puts together the accurate information, the right, accurate answer based on the user's question. So this is what it's responsible to do. So this listing agent, as you can see, it's connected to a custom tool. This is basically what makes a network request to our Airtable um, Airtable. So you can see here, it's actually making a request to our Airtable through Airtable API, and then it's once it gathers all the details, it's just making sure we are only picking the required information, and then once that's done, it passes it back to the agent, and then once the data is given to the agent, and then along with the user question, it goes through the data and then figures out the right answer and then gives it back to the user. Let me actually show you the listings here that I have in the Airtable here. So these are the listing that you can see in the app as well, in the web app I meant. So you have three listings here: Purple Villa, Elegant Oasis, and Green County. So these are the three ones here. So these are the listing details. And then once this is done, let's go to our second agent here. It's called lead capture. So this agent is responsible for capturing leads, it's scoring them, and also saving it back to our Airtable. So if I go here, so again it's connected to the same tool. By the same tool I meant connected to the same Airtable base. So again it captures all the details regarding the lead. For example, in this case, name, email, budget, notes, and temperature. And once this is gathered, it saves everything back into our Airtable. Right? And then going back to our third agent, which is payment calculation agent. So this is responsible for calculating the monthly payments, as we've seen in the demo. So this is connected to actually two tools. So the first one is the calculator tool, which I think is provided by default in Flowise. This is responsible for doing the math for calculating monthly payments. So here in the system prompt, as you can see, I'm also giving it the formula and clearly explaining the steps to calculate the AMI. So it takes this and then passes it to calculator, then which does the actual calculation. And then the other tool which it is connected to is the our first tool, which is to get the right details of listing, like the listing details tool. So the reason why it needs this is because, let's say I don't ask the question, right? I directly go ahead and ask for the monthly payments, right? If I go here, select any listing, and then I just directly go and ask what's the EMI, right? Here I'm not asking the question first. I'm directly going ahead and going with the EMI process. So in that case, it does not really have the information about the property listing yet. So that's why uh, I've connected this to our property listing agent so that it knows the actual price of the properties so that I can calculate the EMIs, right? So this is how the flow looks like. And again, I'll provide this flow along with all the resources that I've used in this video. You can download that in the description section. And this is how the flow looks. But before we go, I would like to explain two more important steps, which is steps or questions maybe. So the first one is, how is this bot context aware, right? For example, if I go here and type any question about this property, it only answers my questions only about this specific property, right? In this case, what's the price? Let me ask this, and then it says 895K. Yeah, this is correct, 8.9. And then if I go back to our main homepage and go to another listing and open this bot, you can see the data is cleared. So like I said, it's only aware of this specific listing where it's placed. So if I'm in Purple Villa listing, this bot only knows about this particular listing. So if I go to another listing, it's only aware about that specific listing. So it's isolated from each other. So if I ask what's the price, it should display me $1 million. Yep, purple illness 1 million. So how are we able to achieve this, right? I'll explain you how we could do this. We are basically we have set up a variable for this. If you go back to variables, and if you can see here, yeah, listing ID. So this is the variable that I've set. This is the default listing ID. So what I'm doing is whenever I'm loading the bot on the front end, right, on the front end here. So before loading this, I'm actually passing this listing ID, which I get it from the URL or within the app. I get the ID, and then I just overwrite the variable which I've set here. Override the variable, this variable here, so that it's available within the agent for me to access. For example, if I go here, let me just see where I'm using it. Open this. Yeah, here, record ID, variable listing ID, right? Let me show you how I'm overriding it. So this is my web app where I'm loading the bot in the listing page. This is the listing page. Yeah, this is where I'm loading the bot. I'm passing all the configurations to the bot, and this is where I'm overriding the listing ID, right? So inside the chat flow config, where's listing ID? This is the same listing ID that I provided, that I defined here, right? So the listing ID is coming from uh, where is it coming from? Yeah, it's this listing. So whenever I load this page, right, whenever I load this page, come to this listing page, it's making a request to our a table, passing this ID, and this is also where I get this ID from. So I get this ID, and then I just override it here. So whenever I load this bot, I send this listing ID along with it so that it knows which listing I'm talking about. So this is how we create this context aware bot, by overriding the variables here. So that's how I'm able to have conversation with it specific to this listings. And then if I go back to another listing page, all the previous conversation that I had with a different listing will be wiped out, and then the new conversation will begin regarding that specific listing. So this is how we do it. And then the second question is, let's say if I go here, right? Let's say if I ask any question, like let me ask the same question again. What's the price? It'll come up with the right answer, of course. So what's happening underneath, like I explained here. So whenever our AI bot, whenever I provide any question, it goes to our source, meaning it goes to our A table, gets the property details, and then once it gathers the details, it matches with the question and then returns me the right answer, right? So that's how it works. But whenever I ask a question, it's making request again and again, right? So one question makes one request. So this is not really feasible, and this is not really optimized for production use case. So in this case, what you have to do is on the first request that we make, meaning on our first ever question that we ask our bot about, for example, in this case, what's the price? What we do is a bot goes ahead and gets the property details, right? It gets the details, and then it stores it internally within the session, right? So that if you ask another question regarding the property, it does not fire another request to our a table. It actually picks up the same value that it has already stored in the session, and then based on that it answers the user's query. So this is how we make it optimized to use it in our production use case. Let me show you how we do it. It's most basically like caching the request. You might have heard this in you heard this term. Let me show you this. Let me go back to this one. So like I showed you in the state, so this is where I'm storing the listing info. So the listing info by default is set to null. And whenever user asks their first question about any listing, what we do is uh, it gets handed over to our listing details agent, and then we make a request to our Airtable API. It gets back the listing details. Once we get it back, what we do is, if I go into additional parameters here, so this is where I have the custom code, right? If I open this, so I'm basically setting the listing info to the tool output, right? The tool output that we get back. So basically the tool output will be the listing details. So once we retrieve it, we just set it in the state. So once that's set, what we do from next time is I've added this over here. So in this tool, what we do is before actually making any request, we first check whether we have any values saved in the state. For example, if as you can see here, this is the that specific code flow state dot listing info. So if we have any value in this listing info and this is not empty, which means that we have already made a request and got the listing details. That means that we don't have to make another request, right? The listing details is going to be the same again. So we are going to use the same details that we have already stored in the session. So just directly returning the details that already stored in the session, so that we don't end up making another request. So only the first ever question is, for that question, we make a request to our source, get the details, and then save it in the state. And then from then on, if you ask any other questions, it's not going to make another request. It's just directly going to get it from our saved state for that matter. So this is how we basically cache and optimize the number of requests, and that is made to our source. So this is how we do it. So I hope we have learned two new things here, which is the first one is like overriding the variables, and then second one is like implementing caching within your flow. So yeah, I think it'll make more sense if you actually download this and then see through everything, uh, and probably that'll give you more idea on how things are built here. And if you have anything to say, please let me know in the comments, and I'll probably try to answer this. And before that's done, probably I think that's it. I've taken you through the demo and also showed you the agent flow in Flowise. And again, if you are downloading this and then running it on your side, make sure to set this variables over here. Probably if you go to variables and then set these variables here as default values, and you basically need two variables to be set, not these two. These two are for our different agents. You only need these two variables: Airtable API key and listing ID, so that it can make a request to the Airtable, and then listing ID is a variable to basically which will be overridden from our web app site. Yep, so these details, I think that's it. So I'll provide all the resources that I've used in this video in the description section, along with the web app. I can give you the code, the agent flow, along with this Airtable copy, and you can just download it, and probably if you can run it, it would be uh, more helpful, I think. Think that's it. That's it for today, and hope it was helpful. I think it was a very lengthy video. Uh, and if you have anything to ask, please ask me in the comment section. I'll probably try to answer there. And you can actually contact me if you need more details. The link, everything will be there in the description section. And I think that's it. That's it for today. And see you again in another video. Bye bye.